Our next guest today is Warren Whittaker, the minister of Cornerstone Christian Church in Springfield. Welcome, Warren.
Hey, thank you so much.
Warren, I wanted to ask you about this new group that I've seen that is meeting every couple of weeks, I think.
Yes, ma'am. Well, it's the Washington County Endurance Support Group, and it's a grief-sharing ministry where we get together on the first and third Thursday nights of each month, just as an opportunity to be able to share with each other. And we have people that have been through recent loss, as well as some that are still dealing with grief over the past several years.
So, and this group is newly formed.
Yes, ma'am.
Started what?
We had a first meeting back in September of 2015.
Mm-hmm. And was that because someone approached you? And
Emily Hicks gave me a phone call one day and had been talking to several people in the community about their situation, and that there just wasn't anything here locally for people to be able to deal with the grief that they had experienced. And it can be such a difficult time in life when you don't feel like anybody else understands what you're going through. And she had been thinking about trying to get a group like that together. I had been praying about that type of need here in the community as well, and so God just put the two of us together to be able to form this group. And we had the initial meeting in September and talked to the people who came to that meeting, and they decided they'd like to meet every other week. And so that's the schedule that we've put together, and so we try to get together every other week, and we generally watch a video that deals with encouraging people through different aspects of the grieving process. And it is a journey through grief that not something that you're trying to move past, but something that you move forward with, and that you understand all the different aspects that come into it, and that there's not really a right or wrong way to grieve, as long as your grief doesn't create problems for you and for other people in life.
Yes. Yeah. There are certainly various ways that people grieve, but the main thing, as you said, is to actually be able to grieve.
Correct.
Because that's an important part of the
Absolutely. Healing
process. And so, Warren, do you have people that have lost? Is it men and women?
Men and women are both welcome. The majority at this point in time have been women, but everyone grieves differently. Men tend to grieve and not want to necessarily express some of that emotion, but each time we meet around round tables, and they're smaller groups, and so we've had a few men that have come and are able to share, and sometimes the grieving issues there's different perspectives, and so we are able to, through the use of the videos, gain a lot of introspection from different people's background, and they do an excellent job with these videos that we're using through the Grief Share Ministry of focusing on people of different backgrounds, different situations, whether it's a spouse or a child or a sibling that has been lost. And so it allows people to be able to experience the uniqueness of certain aspects of loss, but also that we all share in the grieving process of how to work through it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now, if the films that you watch,
yes,
are those like in order? So do you have to start at the beginning?
There is an order to them, but they will just simply repeat the process so people can join at any point in time. I have made myself available for people to come in if there was a specific issue or topic that they would like to look at, and try to let them do that at any point in time that they would like to. But the sessions and the support group can be joined at any point, and we will eventually get back to all aspects of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyone can come at any time?
Yes, ma'am.
Man or woman?
Male, female, and
Teenagers?
yes. If we have someone that is a teenager, we'd like to be able to. They would be welcome to come and include it in there, but there are some special things in dealing with that's sometimes a little bit unique because of the age and issues that come along with that.
Well, I'm really glad that you're having this, and do you lead the group, and or is there
calling it a leader is kind of. I don't want to really say that I lead the group. I facilitate, and I tell them I'm just there for them. I have been very blessed in life that I've not personally experienced a significant loss, and because of that, I am somewhat limited in my personal understanding of the grieving process. I have grown through discussions with the people that are there to have a greater appreciation and greater understanding, but my main role is to allow them the opportunity to express what they're experiencing. And the thing that I have come around to see so much is that grief it's an emotion of loss, but it's really an expression of love. The love that you've felt for someone and how much that loss hurts. And the process and the journey is one of going from the loss to learning how to handle life and the new aspects that are brought towards you, and that the love, rather than being felt in loss, is transferred to an expression of joy in the memory. And that's what we're trying to help people be able to do, is move from mourning to joy.
So it involves I suppose, a religious aspect, Christian aspect, or
we do take a Christian aspect and outlook on it. Death is a serious issue, but the only one who's ever defeated death is Jesus. And so the greatest hope that we have in facing the crisis of death is to be able to turn to Christ, to know that He has overcome death and that God is there with us and will see us through that.
And so are you, people have time, how long does the class last?
Our class lasts for an hour-and-a-half session. We meet at 7 p.m. Again, it's the first and third Thursday of the month. And we meet from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We try to be very respectful of people's time. There was a suggestion at our last meeting about possibly moving up our meeting time because of the winter weather and getting dark earlier, and so we may at our next meeting discuss that further, and if they choose, we may move it up to a 6:30 to 8 p.m. meeting time. So, but if somebody's interested, they could simply call the church and talk with me there, and I'll be able to give them the meeting times and dates.
And what is your number at the church?
They can reach me in the church offices at 859-336-3535.
And just leave a message
if
you're not there.
If I'm not there.
And you'll get back with them.
Yes.
Now, they don't have to be a member of Cornerstone.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, we welcome them to bring members of their own church family, and have invited other ministers in the area to come and to be there with their congregational members. As I said, I simply facilitate. I'm not really leading. We allow the videos to do the instructions, and they have experts on there to give advice, and so we invite other ministers in the community to come and to sit and to just love the people that are grieving.
Have you got a very large group?
We've had as many as 14 meet and as few as 4, so it just depends on the given week.
Yeah. And you're a part of the Ministerial Association.
Yes, ma'am.
So they're, of course, aware of this program, and
Yes, ma'am.
you've invited them.
And strongly encourage any ministers in the area to come at any point in time that they'd like to, just to see what's going on. And we want it to be a help to our community. It's not about any particular congregation, but about people that are just dealing with grief.
Well, we certainly have a lot of that. I mean, nobody escapes that.
No, none of us
So we do have, lots of widows and widowers here, and people that have lost children, and So, needless to say, it is it's something I think that's very much needed here.
Well,
and
thank
I'm
you very much.
Glad to
I'm
see.
very appreciative to Emily for bringing this to us and helping really kick this off. I believe it's a great aspect for what we can do for the community.
Yes, indeed. And now, Warren, right now you're meeting at the shopping center.
Yes, we will continue to meet at the Cornerstone Christian Church. When we make a move here in the next month or so up to the new location on the bypass, we'll be meeting there instead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing the new church.
Well, thank you. We do too.
Yeah. So you expect to be there in about a month?
We're hoping we'll start moving in about a month. If you've ever moved before, you know it's not an overnight process, though. So
Yeah.
there are several things we will be working on for a few weeks, but we hope to be able to start moving a few things in a month, and hopefully within the next couple of months be able to start having our worship services there.
Yeah. And now, Warren, I have to ask you, since you're here today, what about, is the Fuller Center still operating?
The Fuller Center is still in operation. We are still, when people bring us a need, we're still evaluating that through a small group. We are not actively doing any projects currently. The last project that we completed was several months ago, and we basically are waiting for, we have some income from the house that we moved, that it continues to come in, and as we have resources, then we will let people know that we do have some resources available to be able to help people in the community. And we do still try to be active and work, though, if there's a need that someone has, especially for small medical needs in a home, as far as wheelchair ramps or handicapped restrooms and things along that line that we can help with, that they might, that has unexpectedly entered into their life.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, that's good. Well, I'm glad to know that, because I haven't been involved in that in a while.
But we would like to be able to do more, so if there's people out there that have some construction skills and would like to help with that, we would love to have their participation with it. The biggest thing is being able to have a project that we have the skills necessary to be able to meet that need of.
Right, right. So if there's anybody out there in the listening audience that has any construction skills that would like to volunteer
just
there
give me a phone
little
call.
time, be sure and call Warren Whittaker, because those are projects, and the Fuller Center was started through Jimmy Carter, who started Habitat for Humanity, and the Fuller Center is more for projects in the home, in your
repairs.
Home repairs.
If people own their homes and are trying to stay in them but need some help getting some things done, then we try to help. We're limited. We don't do home renovations. We don't do whole house renovations, but we do try to take care of small projects of whether it might be a window or a leak, or we've helped people with water heaters that have leaked and they haven't been able to replace them. Some things, though, that make a difference in their being able to live and stay in their homes.
Yeah, right. Well, it's a great project, and so I'm glad that you're still involved in that as well.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your help with it whenever we were doing things.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. And so now I just want to mention this again. This group is called the...
It's a grief sharing group.
Grief sharing group, and the name of it is...
I don't know that we really have a name. Well, it was at one point in time they called it the Washington County Endurance Support Group.
Endurance Support Group.
Yes, but a couple of people have said, that doesn't really say what you're trying to endure, so they wanted to put the word grief in there. So they may be relabeling it. And as I said, I just kind of facilitate. I'm letting Emily take the lead on some of those things, and just trying to support the people who are involved in the group. But it's a group that is filled with love, and they want to help people, and so they want to let people know that they're there. And so they're trying to find the best name and the best way to make that happen. But it is a grief sharing ministry.
Right. Okay. And if they're interested, they need to come to the church, to the Cornerstone Christian Church, on the 1st and the 3rd Thursday, right now, from 7 to 8:30.
Yes, ma'am.
And you might change the time, but I know that in the newspaper you've had the had it in the brief section
Yes.
about.
And we will continue to meet on the first and third Thursdays is the plan.
And Channel 6 is right there with you, and we want to support you in every
Thank
way
you very
possible.
much. Well, we appreciate it, and we just want to be able to help people in our community.
Yeah. So, well, thank you very
Thank you
much,
so
Warren,
much.
for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you, ma'am.